Okay, let me check the levels, make sure. Okay, they're coming through both sides. Alright. So, visually, stuff's a bit busy right now in this window, but what's happening is what you're seeing are the stills that I worked on last time, photographing a sequence of, this was 32 sheets of paper that have stop motion of some sort, and then photographing it from different angles. And it's just a series of circles that are moving left and right. But when you have it in sequence, it looks like these little tunnels and stuff because it becomes a three-dimensional sort of thing. Sorry, it's had some soda and it's making me a little bit burpy. Anyway, what I'm messing with today is photographing a new animation that I made with slightly fewer frames and using squares. I'm just testing out some different shapes and things like that to get a better sense of how stuff animates. It was tedious to do 32 frames last time, so I'm dropping down the number to 24. It's by 8 because the cutouts that I have here, I can fit 8 on a sheet of paper, so if I drop it down by 8, it's a full sheet of paper less. And then I am also, last time I realized that how I was advancing the frames was taking the top one, moving it to the back, taking the top one, moving it to the back, so on and so forth, and that didn't look as good as when I reversed the frames, which means that it's bringing the back frame to the top, but that is more difficult to do physically because taking this mass or this stack of papers and placing it back down, it's easier to do if you keep everything stuck together. I don't know if that's so. By having like this stack of paper that I have here, if I take the top one off while they still have these tacks in the corners, it's easier to keep aligned and move it. Moves faster if you're taking one, separating it off, and not taking the stack and then separating something off because you're holding it together and taking it apart simultaneously as opposed to taking it apart, holding it together. Yeah, anyway, so the order that I'm photographing is backwards, which is why now I have the 24th frame on top, and then it'll be 23rd, 22nd, and so on and so forth, moving backwards. It's so that when I play it in reverse, the first frame comes on top. It's more interesting to introduce new things instead of just moving it upwards. That's what I figured out last time. Anyway, so this is the initial setup for the camera. You can't really see too much of what's going on. You can see a little bit here. Yeah, I'm going to take 24 photos, readjust the setup position of the frame, or of the camera, take 24 more photos, do it again maybe 3 or 4 times. Hopefully it moves a little bit faster than last time. I don't know. I'm also going to close the curtain here so that there's less light that bleeds in, so I get a more consistent shot, because despite the fact that this light is close and the brightest thing, there's ambient light coming from the windows, and there's a chance of like if clouds come by, it'll get a lot darker, and since everything's set to manual settings, which is better for what I'm doing on this, means that the light will fluctuate, and then for the playback of the animation it'll look a little bit flashy. So I'm going to close this curtain. It wasn't too much of an issue last time, but it was present, and so yeah. So next it's photographing, and let me double check that everything's in focus.
Dicen que nosotros tengamos paciencia.
They think that she is French.
Ellos piensan que ella es francesa. Hay duda de que se vayan a España. Hay duda de que se vayan a España.
There is no doubt that they're going to Mexico.
No hay duda de que se van a México.
Need some drinks for the party? Familiar, plural.
¿Necesitáis algunas bebidas para la fiesta? ¿Necesitáis algunas bebidas para la fiesta?
I need a good wine. Do you have one? Formal.
Necesito un buen vino. ¿Tiene usted alguno?
We'll buy either a magazine or a newspaper.
Compraremos o una revista o un periódico. Yo esperaba que tú me besarías esa noche. Yo esperaba que tú me besarías esa noche.
I didn't know how your parents would feel about us. Familiar.
Yo no sabía cómo se sentirían tus padres acerca de nosotros. Pero tú podrías ir con tu hermana.
It would be necessary to consult with the doctor.
Habría que consultar con el médico. Trabajo muy duro para hacer más dinero.
They came by here in the afternoon.
Vinieron por aquí por la tarde. A Sevilla para las celebraciones de Semana Santa. Viajamos a Sevilla para las celebraciones de Semana Santa.
I walked along the beach and enjoyed myself.
Caminé por la playa y me divertí.
And now, from approximately coast to coast, Bob Elliott and Ray Goulding take pleasure in presenting the Bob and Ray Public Radio Program.
Webley Webster here used to...
I used to play the organ when you were on that radio station there in New York.
Biggest hit was Jealousy, I remember.
Yes, sir. Big studio organ I used to play
And the
all
longest
the time.
introduction of any song.
Not many radio stations have a big pipe organ anymore. They just have these little squirt things.
Well,
part of
it's the financial thing, and these take up less room. You know, we're doing that. We want to welcome you to this Bob and Ray Public Radio Show, brought to you by our generous subscribers. Einbinder, the greatest name in flypaper. This year, more than ever before, make flypaper an important part of your life.
And, of course, by Monongahela, the metal foundry that casts its ingots with the housewife in mind.
We
And Irma.
of the Rudolph and Irma Dance Studios. And if you have a dollar bill
Any dollar bill,
that's green,
it entitles you to one free dance lesson at
Rudolph and Irma's Dance Studios, located at 5913 Harper Street in Arverne, Long Island.
Sorry,
No,
Rudolph.
that's all right.
Did you want to say that together with me?
Well, that's all right.
Togetherness is so important, though.
Yeah, especially in the dance business.
That's right.
Rope wild bison before that rodeo event was outlawed by most state legislatures.
Well, that's very interesting. Where's Tumbleweed now?
Well, I don't think they ever officially outlawed bison roping in Montana, but since the event had been dropped from rodeos in other states, it gradually died out there, too.
I see.
of course, of Stuffy Hodgson. Stuffy, welcome to the sports room. How do you feel?
Well, I feel pretty sad, naturally, Biff, realizing that this is the last day. Pretty sad.
Well, that's a pretty normal way to feel, but still in all, looking back over this long career of yours, you got to admit the game has been pretty good to you.
Well, not as good. Turf, you know, it's like playing the game on a billiard table. You're back there to make a play, the ball takes these crazy hops, jumps up and hits you here in the clavicle. No, you got to dig in and play it. If you're going to win this game, you got to dig in, you got to make that play. And that goes for both teams, irreversible.
his driver's license and 5 credit cards in the cab of the hijacked truck when he abandoned it. His trial only lasted a half hour before he was found guilty.
Well, that was only because he signed a full confession, Chief. But I know that he had to be shielding the real criminal. Too many things.
All right, I'm done photographing. Now I need to load the stills onto my computer from my camera, which means that I have to wait for these to load and then transfer, which will take 5 odd minutes. That was a lot faster to photograph, I think, namely because there are 25% fewer frames? No, 30% fewer frames. And so it's just less that you're dealing with, that I'm dealing with. I'm going to take 1 second and see if I can't crack my back on the floor. I kind of position myself weird when I'm doing that stuff. Alright, let's see. Where do these begin and end? Right here. Oh wait, no. This should be the right amount. There should be 5. I was like, oh man, did I get a weird thing happening because when I clicked and dragged, there's 120 photos, which if I was working with 32, it doesn't divide into 120, but 24 does 5 times. And so I think I did 5 positions for the photographs and ended up with 5 loops from 5 different vantage points, which is what I intended. I said that questioning because I was like, I didn't know how many frames I was going to photograph for positions. I just was going for what felt like good coverage and good angles and not taking so much time that I felt overwhelmed by it. Did I finish importing? I think it did. Let's see. That's not what I meant to do. I was trying to select all, but looks good. I got 120. So let's disconnect my camera. It's easier than taking the SD card out because the SD card is located at the base of the camera, and at the base of the camera is where it's connected to the tripod mount, so it's annoying. Okay, I'm going to reposition my camera, get it a little bit out of the way, and have an overhead thing so it's not just black in the background here, and then start editing the stills.
Of intrigue among the socially prominent. There in stately splendor, far removed from the squalid village below, they fight their petty battles over power and money. Now, as this week's action begins, young Rodney Murchfield is counting paper clips in his palatial office at the Murchfield Lead Mining Company.
Okay, so now it's not blank. Rotate this around like this. I'm less likely to hurt myself on this. That looks okay. Or I can just straight up take it off the rig. You know what? I'm going to leave it one on. So you got a little bit of something you're looking at. Okay, quit preview, come to Finder. Let's organize these. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. New folder with selection. 05 back view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Well, can organized criminals fit in comfortably with socially prominent Mirchfields? And what about Pamela's mysterious failure to return from lunch?
4 dash
Perhaps we'll learn.
Right side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. This is front left. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. What happened there? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. I think my computer was running slow. This is 2 dash close up. And then this is 1 overhead. Let me rename these. This is 1 overhead. Rename. Make sure things are keeping in order. Rename. Go to close up. 03 front left. 04 right side. And 05 back view. And now Photoshop, it's open. Let's come to image capture. Don't need that open. OBS, turn on Photoshop. File scripts, load files into stack. And now we will see what this looks like. Desktop, live designs, 3 squares, stills, not back view. I want overhead. Select all of these, open them up, load them in.
And
And now, from approximately coast to coast, it's the Bob and Ray Public Radio Show.
These are larger files. Do I have anything extraneous running? I'll pause this. Don't make that open currently.
Today, we've had our scouts searching the railroad and bus stations around New York for victims of misfortune. And several of them here have been selected to receive assistance from our generous Bob and Ray organization.
Photoshop. Okay. I ran through, create frame animation, make frames from layers. It's interesting. I'm gonna crop this down. This is this is running slow. Readjusting the scale. This is uneven vertically. So let's take a step back here. Duplicate this guy, get rid of this guy, and come to, yeah, okay. Pull this in a little bit. I think we should be in better shape now. For a more accurate appearance, it's still going to have a little bit of a surreal element because the edges, the perspective of it, you don't have. It's a weird bit. Okay. Still a little bit of a shift in color and such, but not as pronounced as if I had not closed the windows. Curves. A little bit darker, a little bit lighter. This has an interesting feel to it, partly because this one gets more of a sense of depth. The other one was flat, and the only depth was perceived through the actual paper. And this one plays a little bit with there's a sense of depth because they're getting larger and smaller and sort of moving to and from you, but
Stop polishing my shoes with the tip of your nose. I think you made your groveling
But they
attitude
aren't.
quite clear now.
Well, it was only meant as a gesture of devotion, Chief Orderly Snellwell, but if it bugs you, I'll gladly return to my menial duties.
Not so fast, Wine Coop.
want to see what these look like with the greater depth of field, with a more pronounced or a shallower depth of field. Okay, 40. Save this out. Also want to see what this looks like with greater speed. Okay, this is 3 squares. Make a new one. Yeah, GIFs. This is 1.gif. Close out of this. Come to OBS and let's switch out what this image location is. Open it up. There you got that. Now I want to see what the other ones are looking like. So I need... Curious about close-up. What I'm curious about is how abstracted these simple shapes get and the elements of them that become interesting, like this triangular section that's just going to be essentially moving downward. But I want to see what it looks like. Looks like I can get tiny on this. Okay. Create frame animation, make frames from layers. Over here, go ahead and make this 0.06. Let's go over here. Let's just go the full width. A bit of inconsistency with it. I think this was the one that I ended up bumping a little bit. Okay. Let's see how the paper was cut. It's more or less like nothing when you're looking at it just in your hand. But the texture of that cut is significant when you're that close on this.
Jay Fitzer, the mechanic, went crazy with his grease gun, and he really had
Well, have any changes taken place, Mayor Grosvenor?
Yes, because of the publicity East Pardue got when it was named Honor City, a lot of industry was attracted to the area.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure it will herald a new era of unparalleled prosperity in East Pardue.
Yes, sir. 3 days after.
It's interesting. You know, let's take several steps back. And take this and make it 1920 tall. Give this a moment, and then I'm going to crop it. And I'm going to crop it to the right. And black and white and curves. Got a little bit jostled. That's okay. That's loading. Getting this moving. See how this goes.
Effects of an experience like that can last a lifetime.
Well, that's very true. But not many normal-sized people have the human compassion to understand that. I really enjoyed meeting you and having this little conversation.
Well, thank you. If there's anything we can do to
Well,
make
if you're ever out in East Islip, you can stop in for dinner. Give me a call from the station. I'll come over and pick you up.
That's very...
I think in general it might just work a little bit nicer with circles because they're organic and have a little different, more of a leeway. Okay, so let's adjust the size. It should be 540 and 60. Just open. I want to do something else. Okay, come over here. Another. You know what? I'm going to switch out this image because it's more or less the previous one. No, so I don't have to go as far to get to here. Let's take on a surreal sort of thing. I'm curious what these will look like for panning. Like when I have an overhead shot and I'm just sort of panning across the animation. Because I feel like they'll take on a different sense with that. Stills. For right side, grab all these, load them up. This looks like snow, the texture of the paper. Save this up. So 4.
Time you say something just to please another person?
I assure you there's no rage building up inside me, Doctor. Now, if we could just move along
You're clenching your fists and your face is flushed. I'm afraid those are clear signs of suppressed anger.
Hey, knock it off, will you?
I was like, I haven't been naming these. I got turned around. Second. Okay, there's stuff that I like about all these. I don't know if the animation is as interesting. I like seeing that it's linear. I like those lines for like the staircases that are created. But I think the overall animation doesn't photograph with as much contrast from different positions, like because there are distinct elements, but they're repeated. I don't know. Something about it just feels doesn't feel as nice, I feel like, as the other one. And it might be that there's a greater area that's flat. I don't know. But anyway, I already have a planned out one for next time where it's sort of somewhere between this one and the last one. Yeah, so that's it for today. If you want to buy stuff from me, you can go to my web store, traceloops.com/store. If you want to purchase something and have it shipped outside of the U.S., you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. You can also email me with comments, concerns, questions, curiosities, commissions, etc., etc. Again, that is traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to watch this stream or other streams in full, you can do so by going to the live section of my YouTube channel, youtube.com/traceloops, and you will find a recording of this stream as well as other streams. If you want to follow me on other platforms, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Spotify, all of those places. I'm Traceloops, TRACELOPS. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/traceloops, where you'll find high-resolution versions of artwork that I create during streams. You'll also find a selection of tutorials, and then at higher tiers, new songs from me weekdays. At the highest tier, you get a monthly postcard from me with original artwork on the front, a little message on the back, and a discount to that aforementioned web store. That's it for today. I'm going to work on editing these stills into a video of some kind. But that's the plan. Hope you have a good rest of your day, start of your day, end of your day, middle of your day, whenever and wherever you're watching this. Hope it's a good one. Okay. Adios.